Well, good morning, everybody, once again. Thank you for being with me this morning for this special session of Gold Anchor Standards, Polishing the Gold. At whatever time, if you want to interrupt me for any questions, please feel free to do so. But we're going to try to go this as fast as we can so we can all gather as much information as possible regarding this important topic. At the end of the session, you are going to be able to understand the definition of gold, the definition of polishing the gold, also how first impressions last and how important they are. Finally, right after that, we're going to go and talk about something called Answer is Royally. We're going to understand why personalized service is engaging service, how we can measure the results of the company whenever we started this process, or whenever we started talking about polishing the gold. We're going to understand what the cruise flow is, and obviously we're going to conclude this with a couple of questions if you have any. What are gold anchor standards? Basically, we are part of a business, and this business is shared by so many companies around the world. They do provide food, culinary experiences for their guests. They take their guests to exotic destinations. They provide them with entertainment and activities. We do exactly the same. Now, what is that sets Royal Caribbean apart from the rest of the business? Why we bring our guests back? That is a key question, and this is where Gold Anchor Standards come in. Basically, Gold Anchor Standards are the guiding principles that define the service we provide to our guests. Also, it's a framework in which Royal Caribbean put the guest experience as the focus of the attention and our main responsibility in terms of when the guests come on board, and also a key component of a concept called the Royal Advantage, which is basically why our guests come back to us. Gold Anchor Standards, and here we're going to review this, and we can be active if you want to. G stands for? What a great way to create a wonderful, warming, welcoming atmosphere, not just for the guests, but for the crew as well. Remember, we have this 10-foot policy that we try to put in practice as much as we can. With the guests, we do exactly the same. O stands for?
Own the guest experience.
Own the problem, I heard it. We talked about that in the past, and we're going to review why we changed the approach in those terms. Own the guest experience, basically, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later afterwards. Basically, we take responsibility of every moment that the guests spend with us on board. We are responsible for the 1 minute, and that 1 minute will count in terms of creating a great experience for our guests. Look the part, L, right? L look the part, and basically it's not just having a well-pressed uniform, it's the behavior, the demeanor that we use to approach our guests on a daily basis. Finally, D.
Deliver the wow.
Absolutely. Deliver the wow, that extra touch that all of us are invited to use and to take advantage of to create unforgettable experiences for our guests. Now, polishing the gold. We have the gold, but how we polish it? Basically, introducing our own personal experiences, our own personal signature in every single thing we do. Whether it's front of the house, whether it's back of the house. We add our extra personality to create, once again, that unforgettable vacation experience for our guests. As we all know, first impressions last for a long time. And whether you're in guest areas, whether you're working or you're off the ship, remember, while you are in your contract, off the ship is an extension of the ship itself. So, the first impression that you make is the one opportunity you have to create and develop a great relationship with your guests. First impressions also is a two-way, let's say, a two-way road. They have first impressions of you, we have first impressions of them. But in this stereotyping, please do not let stereotyping control or stop you from delivering a genuine, honest service to your guests. Oh, obviously, we were talking about this before. In the past, the approach was own the problem, thinking basically that we already had a problem with the guests. We don't have a problem with the guests. Problems may arise, but that is not our first let's say, our starting point. Yes, we cannot control everything as we will see in a couple of minutes. But yet, we have the chance to recover using a very simple technique. The 3 R's is a simple, but at the same time, extremely effective way to observe, to recover, to resolve any unfortunate events that the guest may have. I first of all recognize the problem. I ask questions. I recognize the guest's feeling. I apologize for any inconvenience. It's not a personal apology, but it's an apology regarding the situation that the guest is experiencing. Basically, we're putting ourselves in the shoes of the guest. Also, we identify the impact of this event for the guest, and we try to cope with that. Also, I resolve, or furthermore, I resolve. I propose a resolution. The guest may not like it, but I propose a resolution. I set expectations on how we are going to develop this path to recover from the unfortunate event, and obviously, we confirm that the guest is accepting and is satisfied with the proposed pattern to, again, resolve the situation. Finally, I restore. I offer a genuine apology once again. I offer alternative solutions, and I make sure that the guest is happy with whatever the outcome will be. The bad situations and the good situations, but in this case, the bad situations is another great way to own the guest experience. Personalized service is engaging service. Why is that? Because it has to be genuine. The service allows you to add, this personalized service allows you to add your own personality, your own extra magic to whatever you do. The service, in this service, we're going to be using the guest names. We are going to get in touch with them. We're going to try to look at every little detail that the guest may be experiencing. This service anticipates the guest's needs. It's not just a matter of serving the drink, but if I see the guest one more time, I will be already pouring the drink even before the guest asks for it. And also, this is with this service, we create absolutely unforgettable experience for our guests. We connect with them on a daily basis and as much as we possibly can. And obviously, the guests will come to us because of the service we provide. Back in 2010, we had a little study in between ourselves and the competitors in this business. And though we were delivering the basic service, we were serving the drinks, we were providing activities, we were, entertaining their kids, we were above our competitors for basically 7 points. But in the same study, it shows that we were 4 points below on the personalized service, which is what we're looking for here. A year later, we discovered this, that whenever we started polishing our gold is when our personalized service increased in 7 points, considering our competitors. Can we control everything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we need to be aware and always think that there's always an opportunity for us to provide a personalized service. When we're doing gangway, when we are in public areas, whenever we are answering a phone, every time we get in touch with our guests, yes, we can provide personalized service. Own the guest experience is the one key element that we need to know, that we need to understand. We will embrace the guest needs, and also we are going to let them have a wonderful experience on board with this element called the flow of the cruise. We're going to bring them in. We're going to let them to find their way around. We're going to give them information. Then we're going to let them to relax. We're going to allow them to connect among themselves with different activities and events. We're going to allow them to get in touch with us as well. In this process, we're going to be building towards a pinnacle moment during the cruise, and finally, we're going to let them to relax one more time for them to go back home. Remember, the cruise starts way before boarding day. The cruise starts months before, and the cruise will end a couple of weeks after as well. So we need to keep all that in mind. With all this in mind, this is what you're invited for, You're invited to be part of the guest experience, and not just with the guests, but with your colleagues as well. It's important. Every single thing counts. Questions? Anybody?
Thank you.
Questions? Questions?
Very good.
All good? All good?
Thank you.
Remember one more time, and this is what the thought, and I truly, honestly give you this. Every single moment counts. One look can change the life of somebody, and remember, We don't even know if these people are going to come here for one time only or if they're going to keep on going or keep on coming. But if we have that one chance and we use it, we are successful. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And thank you for watching. Thank you.